start with continuing coverage on the City of Midland's settlement with Pilot Water Solutions. The agreement involves saltwater disposal wells, or SWDs. Pilot wanted to place several near the city's Winkler County water supply, but the city protested.
The case was set to appear in front of the Texas Railroad Commission next week, but yesterday the settlement was filed. CBS 7's Hannah Brock met with two city officials who say that this agreement makes the water safer than ever. She has the details. Hannah?
While in previous court documents, the city argued it should have the right to protest Pilot's SWDs because an accident near T-Bar Ranch could pollute the water. However, Pilot and the city agreed to allow 4 disposal wells on city property, with Pilot paying for monitoring systems for all of the water. Located near Kermit, T-Bar Ranch supplies a third of the city's water via pipeline and is Midland's emergency water supply. Over the last year, the city protested some of the 18 SWD permits Pilot Water Solutions proposed near it. In previous case documents, the city said that could cause pollution. The city's standing was originally dismissed until Mayor Lori Blanc appealed to the RRC for standing to protest in June. It was granted.
Without getting standing from the Railroad Commission, Pilot wouldn't have needed to talk to the City of Midland, which means they could have went forward with all 18 SWD permits that were in the middle of the T-Bar Ranch.
The settlement allows for 4 SWDs further away from the reservoir, with 6 to 8 more possible with the city's approval.
As you move to the west, which is this direction, the reservoir goes away, pinches out, it's gone.
That's where the wells will go. The curved lines represent water. The property already has oil and gas activity, with many producing and non-producing wells represented by these dots. Some have already leaked and caused the city issues, but the city has no mineral rights.
But old wells that have been drilled, vertical wells that have been drilled throughout the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, a lot of them we have no idea how they were cased and cemented.
The settlement includes Pilot paying $400,000 for monitoring of their disposal wells, plus groundwater monitoring wells to check the entire reservoir.
The groundwater monitoring is what the city really pushed for, and that will put groundwater wells at mid to deep areas in our water source, and we'll constantly be testing that monthly, quarterly, different testings to ensure that our chlorides and our TDS isn't changing from what the rest of the ranch is doing.
Pilot has also agreed to pay to plug 2 old leaky wells. Dufford says these monitoring systems mean the water will be safer than ever before. Nonetheless, concerns over seismicity and water pollution were brought up by Councilman Dan Corrales yesterday. He questioned if any money was worth putting the water at risk. Dufford, who has spent 40 years in geology, says Pilot's disposals will not cause seismic activity because they will be injected above the Earth's layers that typically cause earthquakes.
We don't have to worry about them causing any seismic activity by T-Bar. Now, does that mean we can prevent water being put in someplace else from deeper zones? That will be up to the Railroad Commission and those operators that are producing out there.
Pilot Solutions said in part, quote, Pilot Water Solutions prioritizes the safety of the Midland community and will uphold the highest environmental standards to meet and exceed all local, state, and federal guidelines. The city says Pilot will not inject until the monitoring systems are in place. According to Dufford, the city will also benefit several $1 million from this agreement. We'll continue to keep you updated on this story. For CBS 7 First Alert News, I'm Hannah Brock.